1,579 subscribers, 61,480 views, 3,411 watch hours. We are now in our second video in my YouTube monetization journey series, and I'm trying to get monetized by June 2025, which at the time of this recording on April 2nd is less than 2 months away. To get monetized, I would need 1,000 subscribers, which I achieved last month. But I also need 4,000 watch hours, and I'm not quite there yet. As a reminder, the previous stats were 421 subscribers, 16,100 views, 655 watch hours. There has been a huge difference month to month. And let's talk about what happened and how I got here by doing a retrospective. Last month's goals were to get better at audio, get better at thumbnails, and get over the imperfections. I initially thought my perfectionist tendencies was the reason why it took so long to finish a video, and I wanted to find a way to reduce time spent on creating each video. But this might not have been the right goal I should have focused on, and I'll go into detail on it in a little bit. We'll just follow a similar format as the last video and talk about each video that I released in March. It's similar to how I did it in February. I'm also going to try something new, as you can see, and just show you the dashboard as we are going through the videos. For the stats for right now, I have 61,500 views for all of my videos so far. The watch hours is 3,400-ish. So that means I have 500 and something left of watch hours to gain. So for the first video, it is learning to code even worth it with AI? The brutal truth. So this video went viral for me, and it was kind of a wild feeling. I got over 40,000 views. So I released it on March 1st, and then it didn't really start to go nuts until around day 5, March 5th. And that's when I got over 4,000 views a day. I got about 6,000 views or so after that. And then it kind of like sustained itself, and then it started to taper off a bit more. And now we're sort of like at the long tail of it. So just looking at the reach and just seeing how users found me, of course, browse features served my videos as people were browsing. Now I also, if you could see here, I did a thumbnail test. It was pretty clear who the loser was, which was this one here. I ended the test prematurely because I kind of wanted to get the losing test out of the rotation. For the engagement tab, for watch times, like I said, it is currently 2.7K. If you recall from my first monetization journey video, I had about 655 watch time at that time. And this video alone over 4x the watch time for that amount. So for the retention graph, you could see that it was performing above average for what was typical. I also find it really neat to go through the videos to see where it was. Like right here, you could see that it's kind of flat. It's kind of even flat over here. You could see why, where this was when I was kind of doing a little demo and it was kind of typing out all of the code. People were interested in it. So things like that was super, super interesting to me and very useful. So for the subscribers, it's actually interesting to see how many subs I got from this video, which was, close to 1,000 at this point. And I also found device type very interesting. Computer and mobile phone is kind of neck and neck, but it's good to know for things like font sizes, and I'd want to make sure that mobile phones can see it as well. So geographies are pretty neat to look at as well. As expected, it is mostly from the United States. I also have a bunch of folks from India, which I heard is pretty normal because there are a lot of tech people in India. And the other thing I do want to quickly mention is that I am still getting views from the long tail of this. I have been getting about 1,000 to 2,000 views a week, and I don't know when it's actually going to get flatter, but right now I'm pretty happy with getting a few thousand a week from this video. Now for my next video, I'll just quickly include the first YouTube journey video here. It's the first video in the YouTube monetization journey series. This whole video series was mostly made for myself so I could have some accountability and to give sort of a snapshot of what I was thinking at the time and have a game plan for the future. The video was released on March 6th, and I actually thought to myself that I would actually be happy with about 100 views from this. As you can see, it is about 407 views at this time with a respectable watch hours of about 18 hours. And I even got some subscribers from it. And just take a quick peek at the average view duration. It's pretty good, I think. 2.5 minutes out of a 14.5 minute video. Now we're going to go to the last video for the month of March, the video of how to learn to code with AI if I could start over in 2025. For this video, after the other tech video performed so well, I pretty much decided that I'm going to lean into the tech content rather than the personal development growth content. I mean, I could still weave in growth and career development content, so I'm not super concerned about pigeonholing myself into a specific niche. And I pretty much planned out the video based on learnings I had from that viral video, and I tried to apply it here, especially as we were looking through the average view duration. And this video was a lot of work, mostly because of the length of the video. I spent over 40 hours on this video, but as you can see, it didn't go too well relative to the time I spent on it and the expectation that I got from having that first video go viral. It was a flop. So I released this video on March 18th, but I released it at 1 in the morning in Eastern Standard Time. And that was a huge mistake, I think, because around 5 in the morning on the 18th, I suddenly was overloaded with impressions. Look how steep that climb was. And unfortunately, that was just not the ideal time because most people in the United States would be sleeping at that time. So I don't know who they were serving my impressions to, but it really tanked my click-through rate. I initially got less than 1% click-through rate. That actually really freaked me out when I woke up after I decided to post this video for some reason at 1 in the morning. And then I woke up around like 9 or so, and I was incredibly concerned at this. And I think because of the poor performance of the click-through rate, it kind of went on a death spiral. Now, I did run a thumbnail test, but I don't think there was enough curiosity in the thumbnails for people to click on it. I was just so bummed out how poorly it was performing. These two, I don't know what I was thinking, so I just decided to go with something that I thought was good. I might actually just change this thumbnail again in the future. So now we're moving on to engagement. Right here, you could see that it has a pretty high view duration because it's a pretty long video. It's about 19 minutes. It was actually around 21 minutes to start, but I used the YouTube editor tool to cut down on the intro a lot because the initial retention was just so bad when I got the impressions overload. I definitely did a few things wrong with this video. It actually might have been too long, and my intro, which I initially thought was good because I was using all of those things that I learned from the viral video, it turned out to be a disaster. Since I had to cut a chunk out of it, the retention rate actually improved after I cut it. And despite how poorly this video performed based on the time that I spent on the video and what I thought was going to happen, how I thought it was going to perform, I did have some wins. I had the Rode mic, which is a boom mic that I recorded directly to the DJI Mic 2. I actually got this idea from a video that I will link, and hopefully it will help you too. I actually like the sound of my voice on the Rode mic, but I do detect a little bit of an echo. I think I need to treat my room a little bit more to absorb the sounds, and overall, I do feel like I got over this internal hurdle of working with the boom mic because I've had such bad experiences with it so far in the past that this is actually a big win for me. Now for the retrospective. I got better at working with audio equipment, as mentioned, and I had a video go viral. It currently has over 43,000 views, and it got me a good chunk of my watch hours, and now I have about 600 hours or so to go. When I initially had my goal of getting monetized by June 2025, it was actually kind of a moonshot kind of goal. I kind of didn't expect to achieve it since I heard somewhere that the average time to get monetized is something like 15 to 24 months. Now my goal of getting monetized by June is actually a realistic one. It might even be possible to get there by the long tail from the viral video if I continue to get those 1,000 to 2,000 views a week. Now, what didn't go well? Because of the viral video and getting all of that data from it that I walked you through, I definitely overthought it when I made the next tech video. I applied what I thought were indicators of success from the viral video, but I was very wrong in my guess or my applications of it, and I obviously still have a lot to learn. I also spent way too much time on that video, over 41 hours. And I think it definitely is much longer than it should have been. I still actually might use that YouTube editing tool to cut it down a lot more than it is now, but we'll see. I also went on vacation for 7 days at the end of March, so it disrupted my flow and trying to get out a video once a week. I'm actually still trying to get back into the swing of things right now. So what can I do better? What are the goals for this month? I have 2 goals this month, and they're kind of chunky too. My first goal is to see what I can do to improve the stats, like better thumbnails and titles, and working on the first 30 seconds of the video and front load the interesting parts of the content. But at the same time, I don't want to overthink it. Like with the thumbnails, where I pretty much followed this growth YouTuber's channel. Her name is April Lynn Alter, and she has a video on thumbnails. And I think I focused too much on things like that rather than what made sense based on the content and the audience that I'm trying to target. I will still try to apply things based on data and other people's recommendations, but I will try very hard not to dwell too much on the specifics and focus more on providing value and entertainment. As for the other goal, it is related to last month's goal of getting over imperfections so I can cut down on the time it takes to create and release a video. At this point, the goal is to try to improve on my creation time. Now, if you're curious on the time spent on the videos, here's what it looks like. I will put it on the screen. I think I'm at the quantity over quality stage right now. It's going to take some time for me to get better at this whole content creation thing. I'm not trying to master it in a handful of videos. I don't think it's possible. So I need to give myself more opportunities to work on things so I could get the experience that I need to get to a point of proficiency, at least to me. And of course, the more videos that I have out there, the more opportunities I have to get views, which will help me get closer to the monetization by June. Ideally, I would like to get to a point where a 10-minute video takes no more than 20 hours to produce, so I could get to the 1 video a week thing, which seems reasonable to me, but it's actually really hard to do when you have to work a 9 to 5. This is a part-time job for me, all this content creation, unpaid part-time job for me. And speaking of the 9 to 5, I do actually have some work-related drama going on right now, which is taking up a lot of time and mental space. So I don't know if I'll actually get a video out once a week in April, but I will try. Who knows? Maybe I'll even make a video about the work drama. And you could probably guess what it is. It's not great. So this is the March recap and the retrospective. Things that we did well, things that we didn't do so well, and things that we can look forward to and work on for the month of April. So maybe next month I will have a much better retrospective for you. If you're on a similar journey, let me know. I would love to connect with you and follow along with your journey as well.